Hey you guys, my name is Taquisha. This is our freedom song and I am so happy that you're here. I have something I believe for everyone inside of this greenhouse tour. I know not every shoe fits, but listen, you'll see plants that are very well thought out and perfectly placed, all grown in their individual cells right next to plants that were sown way too densely and or showing too much leg. The legginess is real, but here's the secret. Here's the thing, I've seen them bounce back perfectly healthy and productive even with a rough start. I have plants that are growing in incredibly sturdy cell trays that were made specifically for gardeners. I have plants that are inside soil blocks. I have containers that are from Amazon. Even growing some things in cardboard boxes, y'all. Like, I have it all. Tupperware containers, those little plastic trays that your fruit comes in from the grocery store. Even reuse those salad containers. Oh my goodness, I love those that the organic salad mix comes in. That is such a good seed starting container. It's one of my faves. I'm not doing all of this different type of growing just because I want to appease or appeal to everyone, y'all. It's just the way that I garden. I'm so grateful that I am able to use all of these different methods. And I hope that in this video, that no matter where you are in your garden journey, that you would be inspired, that you would be encouraged to garden this season. I think that my videos reflect, in this garden reflects different seasons. Some seasons I can get, you know, the best of the best, and then some seasons I need that plastic wrap. And I actually love the plastic wrap. I think that's low key the best humidity dome, and it's so inexpensive, y'all. I've been using so much plastic wrap lately and I kind of love it. For you beginner gardeners, in the world of gardening, you are going to run into all types of people. There are people who swear by certain things, and what you can do is you can try their methods and see if they work for you in your area, in your climate. Like, it's really important to just experiment and try those things out. And you're also going to hear from people who are saying, hey, don't do that. Like, don't do that. You're destroying the planet. You're destroying the earth. And this is the thing. Everybody starts somewhere, and not all of us have the same convictions or even the same resources. And so it's important to just start. Don't be afraid, you know, of everything that you hear that says you can't start gardening if you use those plastic containers because you're ruining your health. Like, I'm not saying that microplastics aren't a thing, but even with people who are saying that, they started somewhere and they worked and learned for their convictions to really settle on them. And I think that's something that we all do. And so just garden, grab that cardboard box. Yes, it got that typing on it, but it'll be okay. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it'll be okay. Maybe one day I'll be like, I'm not using any cardboard boxes that have ink on it. And when I do, I feel like that's okay too. I think that it's a space that we should be able to respect one another and not say what people cannot do for their own bodies in their own gardens at home. Like, you know, like, I think it's important to give people space to learn and to grow. And that's something that I hope that you find here at Our Freedom Song. Even with our garden beds, we have wood garden beds. We have the metal container raised garden beds. I have grow bags hanging on my fence, and I love the grow bags. So I just feel like there's a really good mix, but it really does tell a story about who I am as a person too. So I love that. I love that we get to express our creativity and our personalities through gardening, and we get to create a space that we can absolutely love. It does not matter if it's not your dream garden. I'm telling you, once you start growing stuff and you see it growing and you fall in love with the process and you experience the excitement that comes from seeing your little plant babies grow, oh my goodness, it is going to change your life. Okay, I can just talk and talk. So let's go into this greenhouse and let's start this tour. I just have to tell you that I absolutely love this netting right here. I purchased this I think 2 years ago for the doorway because we have mosquitoes so bad, and this really does help. It's magnetized, and so it's still going strong. The sticky part did start to come down last summer, but I just nailed it into the frame, and so the netting, the actual netting, doesn't have any holes or anything like that. So love that. Just wanted to point that out. So for those of you who are new here, welcome. We built this greenhouse 2 years ago, and I absolutely love it. This is my favorite time to actually use the greenhouse. I love coming out into the greenhouse in the fall and in the winter, just to sit in here. I love starting seeds in here. January and in February, when a lot of seed starting for the spring is happening, it's a nice place to be able to put the seedlings. There are some things that I think next year, after my experience this year, that I would do a little bit different. I would actually bring out some grow lights into the greenhouse so that I can make sure that these seedlings are not getting leggy. Because right now we don't have blasting sun power, and so they are starting to get leggy. Some of them started off leggy because I did not have the light close enough, but that's the beautiful thing about gardening, is that you get to learn as you go. Hands-on experience is like nothing else. Nothing can compare to that for me personally. I can read all the information, but until I do it, until I put my hand to that work, I don't really fully understand the whole concept. And so I think that next year I am going to put some grow lights out here and shorten the distance between the shelves, so that I can make sure our seedlings are staying nice, short, and stumpy. I actually came out yesterday and started this tour video for you guys, and today I've already added more things inside of the greenhouse. So if you notice something that's a little bit different today, something that wasn't there yesterday, it's because I brought it out here into the greenhouse. And I just have to say how much I have been in the greenhouse in the evening, y'all. I have been out here trying to put seedlings out when I can. So I planted out some calendula, but not only that, just in the greenhouse, y'all, trying to sow all of these seeds. You guys know that I told you that my goal was 1,000, and I reached it. I have officially reached 1,000, and oh my goodness, that was such a task, but I am so looking forward to the reward. It was enjoyable to be out here at night. I know so many of you guys have been asking me to capture what it looks like in the garden at night, because I talk about it so much, and I truly cannot do the night view like any type of justice. I just cannot. This doesn't even begin to capture the whole vibe and how it feels when you're just in the greenhouse and all of the twinkling lights are all around you and you're just in your zone and just hanging out. And it's just such a wonderful experience, one that I really enjoy and am so thankful for. Look at those. So I just took a whole packet of the Snapdragons that I bought from the Dollar Tree, so 25 cents. And look at this germination, y'all. Look at this germination. That is so incredible to me. I was experimenting, that's why this says no heat, with how Snapdragons germinate. I wanted to know if they would germinate better on heat and without heat. Surprisingly, these did germinate with no heat and just light, but the ones on the heat germinated as well. And so I'm going to have to look more into Snapdragons. I think that there are different types. Like, from my understanding, there's like 4 different types. And like I said, I got these from the Dollar Tree and they did not have a type written on them. It just said Snapdragons. So I need to do more research, and I'm going to be ordering some, now that I understand how to grow them, ordering some from, some different more reputable companies. I do have a pack in there from Botanical Interest, but with this experiment, I did not use it inside of this container. So speaking of seeds, y'all, I have this whole bag full of loofah seeds and I am shipping this off, so you should be receiving it soon. I wanted to be able to do a lot more in there, but right now it's just the seeds in there, y'all. I don't want to wait too long and then you need to start your seeds, because depending on what zone you're in, you may be starting these soon. I think they typically say about 2 to 4 weeks before your last frost. I'm starting mine super early. I started them already and just because I just want to make sure that I'm on top of it. So y'all, loofah seeds, I appreciate each and every one of you. I did what I could for as many as I could. As you can see, this is a bag full of loofah seeds that my daughters helped me package up. And so I'm really, really excited about you guys growing loofah for the first time this upcoming spring season. Okay, I'm going to pan around the whole entire greenhouse so you can see all of the seedlings. And I also want to share my inventory with you, because what I did was I went through each tray and I counted how many seedlings were there, because as you know, when you plant seeds, that doesn't mean that they're going to pop up, and then sometimes it's more than one in a cell. And so I went through and did a thorough count, and so I'm going to know the exact space that I need to put all of these little seedlings in. A different way to do it would be, and it's probably a better way, is to really know which space you have and then plant all of your seedlings based off of that. I knew that I had a goal of 1,000, so I knew that I was going to be fitting it in the garden somewhere, which, I was just challenging myself. I think next year I'll have a better grasp on just how everything went this year and what I want to change, and kind of go from there. I'll know what flowers did well and where they did well, and I will definitely be mindful of that when I go to garden plan next season. If you have any questions about any of the flowers that I mentioned, just let me know. Definitely leave a comment down below or send me an email and I will help you as best as possible. It was so interesting how some flowers just needed light, some needed darkness, some wanted to be covered, some didn't. And just going through that process was very eye-opening, because I think that there has been so many times where I thought I couldn't grow something and I just wasn't giving it what it needed, right? And so it was a thing of, no, don't cover me, just put me on the surface and let me be. And definitely making sure those little seeds stay moist. Oh my goodness, that's so important. Some of the things that you saw already are peppers as well as my eggplants. I also have some things like tomatoes and onions growing, but for the most part, we have lots and lots and lots of flowers. So here they are. Let's get to this list. Statice, Dahlia, Strawflower, Laceflower, Feverfew, Cleome, Sweet Peas, Bachelor Button, Carnation, Sweet Alyssum, Sweet William, Echinacea, Dwarf Bachelor Buttons, Borage, Poppies, Pink Baby's Breath. I have the regular Baby's Breath that's white, and some Snapdragons. On the Asters, I planted a few different varieties of those, which I'm so excited about. We have some white marigolds planted and growing. Oh my goodness. Lots of calendula, Roselle, lots of basil. We have cinnamon basil and Thai basil, that Mrs. Burns lime basil, lemon basil. I even have dark opal basil. It is about to be basil heaven. I'm telling you. Lots of perennials too, actually. Blanket flower. I have some Gladius bulbs, Yarrow, blue Salvia. I only have one type of mint. I'm going to plant more, but right now I have lemon mint growing. Tons of cosmos, y'all. And lots of zinnias. Yes, all of the zinnias. I cannot wait to see these beauties come to life. I have some amaranth growing, like a few different varieties of that. And so I'm just thinking that this is going to be an absolutely beautiful year of flowers. So I actually decided to pre-sprout the bulbs, and look at how cool that turned out. I just love seeing those roots grow from underneath. This is just a leftover cake pan, and so such a good use for something that would otherwise get thrown away. Okay, so on that note, definitely stay tuned for our next video, because I'm going to show you where we're planting the majority of these flowers, y'all. Yes, I knew that there was no way I could create a new space. I know I've said this, but my territory has been enlarged, y'all. It's been enlarged. That's all I'm gonna say. My territory has been enlarged, and I'm so grateful. Every time I think there's no way I can add to our garden space, my mind is blown, and I cannot wait to share this with you guys. The next video, you don't want to miss it, because it's gonna blow your mind too, and it makes my heart so happy. Thank you guys so much for joining me in the greenhouse today. I appreciate each and every one of you. I hope that you are inspired to get out there in your garden and figure out how you are going to make it the best thing possible this upcoming spring. I hope that you start some seeds in whatever form that you can, that you are able to share in this great excitement in planting and growing and watching your babies grow. Until next time, friends.